Hey, Puentistas, welcome. Here's week 4 overview. Our big event is going to be submitting that final draft. We're going to submit it to a site called turnitin.com. Fairly easy to use. Some of you have used it before, I know. Our other big goals, we're going to be continuing our discussion about Latinx identity. We're going to look at a couple poems that deal with notions of family and also language. I think you're going to like them. So, coming up on this weekly schedule, you're going to read the profile essay, The Last Stop, by clicking this link. It's a nice little spotlight put on a funeral home. And remember, a profile is going to have two parts, right? It's going to have an observation of something related to the topic, and it's also going to have an interview with somebody related to the topic. And both of those elements are super important. You're also going to submit your remembered event reflection, and that's going to be done in the discussion link instead of regular discussion. You don't have to say anything to anybody else about it, but I figured, I don't want to give them discussion the week that, we've got an essay due. So here's an easy way to get your points. And we'll take a look at that as well. Coming up Saturday, you've got two poems. You've got Lorna de Cervantes and Refugee Ship, short poem, and Demetria Martinez writing a poem called Fragments. It's both in Spanish and in English, which I think is really cool because it lets us think about, which language do we use for what kinds of activities, Some codes work better in some situations and some contexts than in others. And I think this poem does a really cool job of exploring that. I know some people are going to be like, poetry, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. Everybody likes music. Music is basically poetry. As with any piece of writing, our knowledge of it's going to be partial. But through continued reading, we're going to get better at looking at that. Also, you're going to submit your profile topic. If you've got more than one, that's fine. You can submit them to me and see what I think about which ones I think are the most, viable or doable. All that being taken care of, let's jump to modules. Of course, we're at week 1, but we're going to bear all the way down here. Here are our two learning materials, Refugee Ship and Fragmentos and Fragments. Remember, you can look at the profile sheet and the example profile essay through overview. I'll try to put other links there. So the big things coming up, remember to final draft submission. We hit that, we just open a new link. I'm really nuts about links. Okay. When you do it, you're going to hit this. It's not going to work because I'm on student view. It's going to take you to the Turnitin page. Here's a nice little video if you're not sure about how to make Turnitin, but this information is going to be key. Class ID and enrollment key. The enrollment key is the same as our section number. See what I did there? All right. Anyway, if you've got any questions about that, let me know. Now, looking at our reflection activity. Once again, I love opening in new tabs. This is something you want to complete immediately before you submit your final draft of your essay, just because if you want to get better at anything, and if you want that improvement to be as steep as possible, you've got to do two things in general. One is you've got to work hard at that thing. The second thing is you've got to take time to step back and look at it and find where you did well and where you still need to improve. And reflection helps you do that. So I'm going to ask you to highlight your thesis statement in your first and last paragraph of your final draft. Yeah, do it right on that Microsoft Word document. And I'm going to ask you to reread that document and, you know what? Make whatever grammar changes you want on it. Just correct it one more time. Now, on paper, this is going to be on a Word document. You're going to answer these 3 questions. Pretend this essay is the best in the universe. Explain what makes it so popular. Even if you hate your essay, I want you to dig and find, 4 things that you like about it, or just don't hate about it. If you think everything's terrible about it, that's not going to be super realistic. And you've got to learn to find those elements that you do like. That's how we get better. Now, for the egomaniacs in the group, we're going to flip it. Imagine it's a disaster. Tell me 4 things that need more work. I could use more detailing. I'm not sure if my learning moments is clear. I think my title is really vanilla. That's all I'm looking for. Third point, I'm asking you to assess the effort you've put into this essay, predict the grade that you've earned. I'm asking you to name the classmate you did peer review for, name the tutor who reviewed your essay if you went to one. I strongly recommend you do that. I'm going to ask you to consider the elements of a remembered event essay, especially narrative. Evaluate how well you've incorporated them. I don't know why I've got these double ones here. That's really annoying me. I'm going to have to change that. I'm asking about the learning moment here. Finally, I'm asking about the comparing, sensory detailing, dialoguing, and naming. Finally, your title. All of that. Put that into a Word document. Oh, you know what? You don't have to put it into a Word document. All you got to do is put it right here in the reply and send it off. And you'll get 4 points for that instead of discussion for this week. Easy peasy. Again, if you got questions, let me know. Again, you're going to be submitting your profile topic, and that will be available right here on the course module. Come on, buddy. Oh, well, I'll have to unlock that. I will unlock that really soon. What's more important, actually, jumping to this profile assignment sheet. Now, keep in mind, what we've already talked about is the profile. You're going to write a profile essay of at least 4 pages on a person, place, or activity that you find fascinating. It could be a career that you're interested in. It could be, your favorite place to hang out. It could be a hobby. It could be an action, an activity. It could be a physical place. It could be a person with a certain kind of job. Some people use this as an opportunity to kind of tail somebody in a field that they're interested in going into professionally. I've had people go on ride-alongs with police. I've had people, work in a veterinarian's office. You name it, I've seen it. So here are the things to think about too. You can also profile special object or place that has special cultural significance for you or for immigrants that you know. Again, keeping with Latinx themes. Now, after that, there are other things for us to consider. Is it a fresh perspective on a common subject? Everybody knows funeral homes, but are you shedding new light on them? Or is it an introduction to an unusual or little-known subject? We've got another essay coming up called I'm Not Leaving Until I Eat This Thing. And it's about pickled pig's lips, and other things, graffiti artist, street vendor, etc. And I'm giving you all this other stuff. Now, you should also have an observation and an interview. But for right now, it's just about giving me that topic. And we're going to take a while. Notice that rough draft is going to be due on Wednesday, the 28th of September. So we're going to have like a full month to work on it almost. Anyway, if you've got more questions, feel free to let me know. But that's pretty much it for the week. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.